Hello and good morning everyone. Today is super exciting because Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross comes out today and I am so freaking excited. Like I know a lot of other people are as well. You guys have seen my videos before. You might have seen where I said that Divine Rivals was a 6-star read for me this year, and that still stands true. Divine Rivals has easily been one of my favorite books of 2023 so far, and that's just because I haven't read Ruthless Vows that I won't say that it's my favorite book, because who knows? Who really knows? But I really wanted to reread Divine Rivals before I got Ruthless Vows, but I ultimately just didn't have enough time for that. And really, I don't need to reread it because I still remember everything that happened and exactly how it made me feel. So right now, it's about 7:30. I got up not that long ago, and right now I'm just getting dressed to go book shopping. Obviously, we're going to get Ruthless Vows. That's the whole reason behind the trip, but with the holidays passing, I do just have gift cards and things like that. But yes, right now I'm just going to get dressed and then I will talk to you guys when we're on the way. I just got to Barnes right now. I'm waiting outside, but I just saw someone go in there and they're not supposed to open for another 30 minutes, but I can kind of see through the window and it looks like people are shopping in there, but I don't want to walk up to the door and then be the one that's embarrassed if they're not open. Oh, and this man just walked out, y'all. I guess we're just gonna go ahead and go in there. I am gonna put my headphones on because I just don't want people talking to me while I'm in there. If I'm being honest, I do that all the time. I'll go places and just wear my headphones even if I'm not listening to anything. A little pro tip. Ask you where you found Ruthless Vows.
These are actually all the way at the front by where the Starbucks is. There's not many left, so I don't know.
Girl, I'm running.
Yes, and then
Because thank you. Hello, I am back home now, obviously, and I am so excited about the books that I got. I have 2 new releases and then 3 that are books that have been around but I just haven't read. I went to Barnes & Noble first and then I headed over to Target, and these are the books that I got. Look at these beautiful babies right here. Oh goodness, they are falling. Okay, let's talk about them. Obviously, we have to start with the star of the show, which is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Let's let her have her own little moment. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'll be right back. Hold on. Recently, I got this little stamp here. It says from the library of Courtney Elizabeth, and I'm going to try and get used to using this every time I purchase a book, and it's so cute. I got the one that you can just press down and it stamps immediately. You don't have to use a stencil and dip it into the ink. And I got the purple ink because I thought that would be so cute. Where should I stamp it at? I do not want to stamp it over this beautiful detail right when you open up the pages. Maybe we stamp on this page right here. Okay. Okay, I think that we're ready to go now. Cute. So freaking cute. I am going to love doing that. I can already tell I'm gonna love doing that with all of my books going forward. Okay, now that I'm done stamping all of my new books, we can proceed. So clearly the first book that I picked up was Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. This one really had me panicking at first because usually they have it set up right when you walk in, like if a book is a new release, and I could not find this book to save my freaking life. I ended up having this angel of a woman walk by and she had the books, so I asked her, of course. She told me where they were at and they were like over in the corner, and that's just kind of weird for it to be a new release, but nonetheless I did end up snagging me one and I am so excited to read this book, you guys. I literally don't know how many more times I'm going to say that. Ruthless Vows is a fantasy novel, but there is romance subplots. I would say really heavy romance subplots, but I don't think it's necessarily supposed to be just a romance novel. The Ruthless Vows is the companion novel to Divine Rivals, and in Divine Rivals we see Iris and Roman, and they are rival journalists that work at the same editor. Iris and Roman both end up leaving that editing job and going to work as war correspondents and writing on the war, because these books are set at a time when the gods are at war. A lot of crazy things are happening and the general public doesn't know half of the information. One thing leads to another when Iris and Roman are on the front lines of the war, and Roman ends up going missing. And when this book starts, I think 2 weeks is what it says after Iris returns home, and Roman is still missing. No one knows where he is. So when Iris is given the chance to write on Decree's movements, she obviously takes the chance. And in this book, we're also going to get to see more of what Roman has been doing since he's been taken. I just know, you guys, that this book is really going to throw me for a whirlwind, and I'm ready for it. Honestly, I'm ready for it to ruin me. The second book that I ended up picking up is from a series that I haven't started yet, but all of the hardcovers were buy one, get one 50% off. And since I was getting Ruthless Vows anyways, I decided to go ahead and pick up Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Like I said, I haven't started the Empyrean series yet, but this is book number 2 in that series. Similar to Ruthless Vows, Iron Flame is a fantasy novel with strong romance subplots. This series takes place at Besagoth War College, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it follows 21-year-old Violet, and she spent her whole life training to be a scribe. There's different, from what I understand it, it's different categories. I don't know what those are necessarily, but I know that one of them is being a scribe, and she spent her whole life training to be a scribe. Her mother is a commander though, so she basically forces her to compete for the Writers Quadrant, and this is like completely opposite of what she spent her whole life training to do. Like I said, I just picked this one up because I know that I'm going to read this series at some given, so I just went ahead and grabbed it up. So the next 3 books that I'm going to talk about I got from Target. That was my second stop of the day, and all 3 of these aren't necessarily new releases or anything, but they are books that have been very talked about and very highly reviewed, so I definitely want to go ahead and give them a chance. This first book I feel like is going to throw a lot of people back because I know that it's been a while since a lot of people have read this book, but like I said, I just have never gotten around to it. And that book is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I've only read one book by Emily Henry, and that was Happy Place. I read that earlier in this year, and that was a 5-star read for me. So I definitely wanted to read more Emily Henry, and I saw this one today. First off, the cover is super cute. That's what drew it to me. I love the orange and the blue colors contrasting with one another. Secondly, I just really enjoy enemies to lovers, no matter how extreme the enemies to lovers dynamic is. So while on a girls' trip to get away from the chaos of everything, Nora, who is a literary agent, keeps on running into this rival from back in the city, this editor, Charlie. Nora and her sister are on this trip to get away from the stress of their everyday lives, and to have this guy who is very familiar in your life constantly showing up while you're on vacation, that has to be so annoying. Throughout all of these seemingly annoying interactions, they really get to know one another and realize that neither of them are really that bad, and they might even be likable. Next book that I picked up is Archer's Voice Voice, and I've seen so many people say that this is their favorite book, but I am scared that this book is sad. I don't know, that's just the vibe that I've gotten, that this is a sad book. I'm pretty sure that Archer's Voice is a romance, which I love. I feel like I've been reading a lot of fantasy lately, and I really have been missing my little romances. In this one, we have Archer, and he lives a really quiet life. Literally, he doesn't really go out that much. He's very introverted, doesn't talk to a lot of people at all. Literally doesn't talk to anyone until he meets and forms a relationship with Bree. And Bree's new to this town because she's running from things in her past. She kind of just needs a fresh start. Kind of just how she finds herself in this town and forming a relationship with Archer. They both just have things they're trying to move on from and recover from the past. So they seem like a good fit for one another just on that front. But I don't know what the sad part of this book is going to be. I read online that there is like the hero trope or whatever in this book, so I don't know, y'all. I haven't read a sad book in a really long time, but I did want to go ahead and check this one out because, like I said, so many people have talked about and recommended Archer's Voice as like one of their top recommendations of 2023, so I couldn't just not get it. And if I shed a few tears, then so be it. The last book that I picked up today is another one that I'm thinking is going to be really sad, and that is Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. In this book, we have Elsie, and she experiences this like almost once in a lifetime love at first sight type of romance and gets eloped. But unfortunately, very shortly after being married, her husband is in a terrible accident and passes away. Elsie never met his parents, his mother, or anything like that, and she doesn't meet his mother until they're at the hospital after the accident. This woman is her mother-in-law, and they've never even met, and this book kind of takes her relationship with the boy and her relationship with the mother and just shows how they kind of heal and move from this traumatic experience that they're kind of going through with one another. But those are the 5 books that I picked up book shopping today. I had so much fun going book shopping. It's a gloomy day, and that's really just what I needed after the holidays. So excited to start reading Ruthless Vows. It might be a minute before I start some of these other books, but Ruthless Vows is definitely going to be started here within the next day or two. If you've read any of the books that I got today, please let me know what you rated them and which ones are your favorite. I would love to know. Be on the lookout for more videos from me, especially as we're entering the new year, because I have a lot of new ideas. So be on the lookout for that. And if you enjoyed today's video, please just give it a like. And aside from that, as always, I will see you all in my next video.